Morning. Welcome. Welcome. Hold up. Did you turn off the internet last night before you went to sleep? Hold up. Handling technical difficulties with the boy. And, it says it's connected, sweetie. So you have to return it on. Hold up. Give me a second. Mm. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Let's see. There you go. He came in like he was ready to fight. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. This is Nix. The little one had a little bit of a technical difficulty just now. He came in here like Devo. We had to make sure everything was straight with him. How are you? How are you? How are you? Buenas dias. It is now Friday. We have made it to another weekend. All right, as we prepare, just remember that there is a lot of thickness in the air. Those who have sensitivities within the chest, remember to stay away from outside. Today is a full-on alert, is 100% alert. If you don't have to be out there, just don't, okay? Make sure you're staying hydrated. Remember to eat your fruits and your vegetables and your legumes. Nuts for people who don't understand what I just said, okay? Definitely make sure you do that and stay cool, stay calm. Mind your manners. The smog from Canada is definitely coming down. It is making definitely effect. You can actually see it at night. You can see it at night and you can see it during the day. So everybody brace themselves as Canada deals with what they're dealing with as far as the wildfires. And this would be another reason to indicate why it would be hotter than normal. We are experiencing the downdraft from Canada, okay? So, yes, this is not normal. No, we usually be having a good time by now, but nature is doing what nature does, okay? Maybe it's a cleansing. We don't know. The natural disasters keep coming, and so do the man-made disasters, okay? So be mindful of that. Sometimes they use that bit of chaos to throw a monkey wrench in the plan. So definitely don't be so distracted by the world's issues that you don't forget that you have some of your own, and others do have some too. So let's be a little bit more gentle with us as we figure out what's going on in this wide, wide world. Hold up, let me figure this out because I'm hearing something. I'm hearing distress calls. Why are you making all this sound? Why are you having this? Drink some water. You got water. And you got this. What is something not playing that you want to play? Sometimes this is what I'm going to have to deal with. Everybody can't be happy all the time. And that's something that we all have to basically take with a grain of salt. Everybody can't be happy all the time. You do as much as you can. And at the end of the day, if someone's unhappy, sometimes you have to let them be. Yep, you have to let them be. It's no point in you trying to force change into a situation where a person does not understand, does not comprehend, is not even in a position to understand, right? And those are the things we learn from young kids and we learn as adults, as we grow into adults. Some things we can't control. So a lot of times if you can't control those things, you have to control yourself in your interaction, okay? So words of wisdom, words to live by, okay? I did pick us a Psalms for today. Hopefully you're already. Oops, nope, not Psalm. Sorry, Job. Job. I went into the book of Job, okay? So if anybody is familiar with the story of Job, you know that he went through a lot. He was sold, he was sold from under himself by his family. And he had to do the hard thing. He had to break the generational curses. He had to go forth and become the person who could save his family. And for a lot of times it be our family and our friends, it be the closest people to us that can't accept if we're the ones that may have the answer. It becomes a thing after they've probably already disrespected you, already said that they won't support you, already counted you out, already marked you as a liar, a beast, a thief, or whatever they have marked you as, and then come to find out you were the one that was supposed to bring everybody together. You were supposed to be the one to feed everybody. You were supposed to be the one to help everybody grow and evolve. But they sacrificed you to whatever they felt was more better than you. They didn't want to change, to see you and to say sorry and to accept that they might have spoken out of turn. That would be too much. So they'd rather get rid of you. They'd rather tell more stories. They'd rather cover it up. They'd rather hide their faces from you, knowing that they would have to look at you on shame, knowing that they said these things and they weren't playing, that they weren't that no one coerced them because everybody had free will, you understand? So a lot of people, they won't want to come back across you, and some people out of shame want to see you gone because it would hurt them to see you face to face and have to explain that they were no good for you, that they looked you in your face and totally took advantage of you. A lot of them have shame. They would rather see you off this earth than to look at you again and say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I apologize, you didn't deserve that, you did nothing to deserve that. But I still want everything from you. I still expect the best from you. I don't expect you to not be upset with me. I don't expect you to not want to know the details of why I did what I did towards you. So as a coward, I would rather see you, your children, and everything about your existence gone rather than admit that I was wrong and I put myself and my hopeless needs before yours and anybody else's because I couldn't face myself. I tell everybody that I'm real, but I'm fake behind closed doors, or I'm fake when I'm around the people who I know tolerate how fake I appear. Yeah, there are people like that, and you would just have to deal with it. You can't change some people. Just stay away from them as best you can. And remember, if you do see them, remember the lesson that you learned so that you don't ever have to learn that lesson again or heal from a relationship or a friendship or an associateship or a business ever. So those are the things you take with a grain of salt, but you understand them as facts. And that way you don't end up upset over things that you already have understood and have experienced, okay? All right. So let's go on to Job 41. All right, so hold on those that fear conviction. If you don't like this part and this part makes you feel shame in your heart, it's good. That means it's doing what it's supposed to do. But also understand this. Don't use your authority to ruin others. Don't justify your hurt feelings to hurt others. Gone is the days where we just say carelessly, hurt people, hurt people. No, hurt people need to go find somewhere to heal and stop being in other people's faces. That's what needs to happen. All right, so here we go. All right, there you go. So, Job 41. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Thanks for coming. Good morning. Happy birthday to those who are having a birthday for our Cancer season. We are slowly approaching Leo season. Hopefully the big cat is okay. You've got your mane all brushed out, combed out, or you got your mane all lined up. And you don't have that god-awful black dye on there, okay? Let's not do that. And Definitely congratulations to those who have had celebrations. They have birthdays coming up. They have events coming up that they would like to. What happy anniversary to those who are having anniversaries coming up as well. Okay, so let me go on to Job 41. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or is his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a horn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stare him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who have prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garments, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another, they stick together, they that cannot be sundered. By his neesings a light doeth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of neither millstone. When he raiseth up himself, and mighty are afraid, by reason of breakings they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold the spear, the dart, nor the harbigan. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him flee. Slingstones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp tones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is none his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. Good morning, Selah, so be it, so let it be. You have heard the desires and the details and the description of the dragon. Amen, Selah, so be it, so let it be. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So as the prophecy stands, there is him that should come forth with enough virility, with enough girth, with enough wisdom to bear all of these descriptions, yet remain humble and still serve the earth as a humble servant, knowing, having the strength to consume, having the strength to fire, having the strength to break, having the strength to mold. You understand? One that is born with enough wisdom, with enough strength, with enough patience, with enough understanding to know that he can either make a situation or break a situation, yet still stands in service of his land, his family, and his soul, shall reap the reward of the Lord. Amen, 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 ashe, ashe, ashe. All right, so let's grab the tarot and get on with it. I'm going to do pink tarot because it's straight to the point, and this is Friday. On Friday, we've already started ducking on Thursday, so I know on Friday you're really checked out. And you're just going through the motions because Saturday is right afterwards. And really, you've already gotten the weather alert that it's going to be pretty hot. So you've got more than enough excuse to go on and pre-call out if you know you're going to pass out on the job. If you have no business behind the wheel, you take medication that is heat sensitive. Go on, take a look at your indications. Stop throwing away those pamphlets and take screenshots of it because somebody on your job might need to know what to do in an emergency, all right? And be aware if you have those contraindications where you can't be out in direct sunlight for too long and what you're mixing up, okay? For those of us who already know, don't forget. All right. So let's see what our first sign will be. Okay, Aries came out. We have a 3 in Aries. We have, oh, let me pull it the way it was. We have the 1, which was the Ace of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the 3 of Wands in Aries. Aries will be our first sign, okay? Okay. Ace of Swords, mental clarity, breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind, new conflict, surgery. 1, Aries. This is the reading. Page of Cups, creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility, happy sunrise, dreamer, sensitivity, new love. So this is basically the personality and the traits of the Aries is leadership, okay? They have strong leadership, or they desire to be the leader. So that is a trait. It doesn't have to be your exact sign, but it is one of the traits and personalities of this sign, which is Aries. So the Page of Cups is the creative opportunities. It's not a number necessarily, but it is a opportunity. And you see the fish in the cup, you have to be curious and you have to be able to ask questions, willing to ask questions, and willing to do research, and willing to give whatever resource that you use for the research the credit that you get thereof, because a responsible leader also knows where to get the information and where to send people for the source, okay? So then we have the 3, which is the 3 of Wands, which is Aries, preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, expansion, overseas opportunities. So somebody is definitely making a vision board, or they're putting things into place, or they're making a list of the things that they need in order to get these business moves made. So there is somebody right now at the planning, in the planning stages, and they've got a pretty good idea where they would like to go. So right now it's just a matter of putting it in black and white, or actually bringing it into the 3D after they've thought about it so long in the 5D. So this is the Aries reading. In Aries, take what resonates. Sun, moon, rising, just Aries, and 1 + 3 is 4. And that is building a very strong foundation, starting from experience and not from the beginning. At least you have a few answers and you're not starting off in ignorance. Ignorance is not bliss in this case, okay? So be careful of shaking up your foundation before you get it on solid ground. This looks like not giving away your ideas, not being too forward before you're actually established, not bragging about it, and not giving away your business ideas before you've actually established them, okay? So, boom, there you go. That was your Aries reading. The number is 4. Foundations. Remember, if you don't have a sturdy foundation, how can you support someone else, yet alone yourself, okay? So, let's go, Taurus. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't forget to like, share, or subscribe, or do all 3. Tell a friend, send a friend, tell a friend again, all right? Because some people need to hear it the way that I speak it, or they just need to get in the algorithm so that they can meet other readers that speak it. There are thousands of us. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, and there are people younger than me and older than me that are definitely working with the cards and helping to get you these messages, as well as some tips and some advice, some that you might not have given yourself. Some people come here, they're from all walks of life. There are doctors that come for answers or little hints to think of something that they might not have thought of while they were on the surgery table. There are religious leaders that unfortunately and unfortunately, some of them, they don't tell you that they do believe in the tarot, but they go amongst their crowds and they say, don't listen to that, don't follow that. But this is what they do behind closed doors. They have a clear closet, they have a war room, and in that war room they have pretty much divination tools similar to what I use, because I'm not a dark worker. Or for some of the worst situations, some of your religious leaders have a lot worse tools than I'll ever use, because I'm not a dark worker. And some of them use your innocence as their cover as they proceed to step into the dark side behind the cloak. You don't know what happens when he leaves that altar that he has in your face. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So be aware of the duality of everyone, even the people that you most trust. You have no idea. You can know a person for 30 years and still never know them if they don't desire it to be so, okay? And that goes for good people and bad people. People do need privacy. People do have privacy. Unfortunately, some people use their privacies for bad reasons, okay? So just be aware that everybody can have a dual nature. Yep, even the person that you just thought of just now. Everybody can have a dual nature, all right? Even yourself. And the minute that you forget that you can have a dual nature is the minute that you become arrogant enough to forget that everybody else can too. All right, so in Taurus, here we go with the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the 8. Okay, so this is the only number that is out here, which is the 8 in Taurus. So someone's compassion, Gemini, Taurus, no, not Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, this is the Taurus reading though. Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, double Pisces, and Aries. So somebody decided to take the lead as far as compassion. So somebody decided to do this romance scam, this love scam. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. Somebody who you thought that you could love unconditionally, or thought that you did love them unconditionally. So somebody decided to take the lead, and they ended up disappointed with this Queen of Cups coming out here. This is supposed to be, so this is a lot of codependency. So somebody was depending on you to be codependencies. As the Queen of Cups, they're used to you being compassionate, comforting, calm, and nurturing and healing. But also what they're used to doing is using your comfort and your healing to heal themselves while they don't heal you at all. It's not very reciprocal. So during this phase, this person was trying to make you chase them and lose your self-respect and try to bring down your confidence. They were trying to make you an introvert. They were trying to make you go within yourself and hide. They were trying to turn you in on yourself and make you jealous and give you a bunch of insecurities. However, it is now backfired, resulting in disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal, escapism, and having to walk away and leave behind. That's where that pride would come in. Some people would rather walk away, leave, never show their faces again, rather than apologize and admit any wrongdoing to you, because that's how the coward works. The pride is bigger than the heart. The heart becomes contrite, which makes it an awesome sacrifice. Okay? All right, so that was the Taurus. The number is 8. Take what resonates. Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus, Pisces, Aries, Gemini, and Cancer. The number is 8. Don't be on the wrong side of karma. Strive for Dharma. Okay, step into it, Gemini. Step into it. This is going to be a quick reading. It's not going to take that long. Step into it, Gemini. Step into it, Gemini. Pisces will be the last person, okay? Now we've got the Chariot, which is moving fast. We've got the 4 of Pentacles, all right? And then we've got the 10 of Pentacles, okay? All right, okay? Gemini, the movement, progress, action, integration, determination, willpower, control, direction, departure, courage, okay? Let me see what's on the flip side. Self-discipline, okay? All right, so remember to control yourself. Do not get confused. Remember, projection is real. Sometimes you'll feel a bit of anxiety. Remember to make sure that feeling isn't being projected onto you and it is indeed your feeling. Sometimes as empaths and having a bit of sensitivity, you can feel another person's emotions. That is a gift. That also is a warning. If you can feel their emotions, it's a bit too intense and you need to figure out why you're interacting with them in this way or they're interacting with you in this way. Either way, it's nothing for you to worry about. It's just something for you to be aware of so that you can say, hey, these aren't my feelings. Why am I interacting like this? And proceed forward, go forward accordingly. Giving yourself enough pause to actually acknowledge what it is and put words to it gives you a lot more control than just flying by the wayside, okay? All right, so that's that for the chariot, and things are moving pretty fast as you go through your healing and your ascension. And then remember to save money. Don't overspend. Just because other people's are spending it doesn't mean you need to. Only you know what you need, and you know what you would need and during a rainy day or an emergency. Those things are more important than the thing that you want to spend the money on at the time. You always have to remember, will an emergency come up? If that's the case, some people can call others and some people can't. And some people would rather not, okay? They would rather not put themselves in a situation where they will be in debt with anyone. Regardless of what, you know what your situation is, act accordingly, okay? So remember to have conservation. If you don't need to use it, then you don't. If you don't need to go out in this heat and exasperate yourself, do not do that either. Today and every other day is not a day to overextend yourself, okay? Try to hold on to your youth, your time, your power, your strength, your abundance, and your energy as best you can. Want to know why? Because it's yours, okay? Wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, contribution. These are the ingredients that will give you a better life going forward because you'll learn the rules of satisfaction as opposed to gratification, okay? And definitely learn the difference between validation and acceptance, okay? All right. So we have a 7 plus 4, which is 11, plus a 10, which would make that 21, which is a 3. Divine intervention, okay? Divine intervention. And it's very fast moving, so appreciate the healing process and keep your hands and feet on the inside of the ride. Oh, yeah, and remember, with this new authority comes great responsibility. Do not use your authority to ruin others. Sometimes, I know, we get up here, we say, tick for tack, but sometimes it is good to turn the other cheek, especially when you know God is about to come through for you, okay? So, definitely be aware, especially if you are on any public platform or you have a business and you have to go out in public and the public is part of your livelihood. Remember, be easy breezy and then don't get caught off guard and don't allow the rage baiting to happen. There are people who would love to see you lose everything you got and they have no interest in giving you anything back, okay? All right. Enjoy. Okay, that was the Gemini reading. Hopefully you enjoyed that. That was a pretty breezy reading. And remember, the number was 3. We had 7 plus 4 plus 10. That turned into 21, which turned into 3. Divine intervention. Oh boy, High Priestess says at the bottom of the deck, somebody is very highly intuitive and they know without having to say a lot. And that's good. That's a good temper to have in this day and time. Not everything that you know needs to be said, okay? Some people do use the things that you do know about against you just as well as they use the things that you don't know about against you. A lot of things can be weaponized depending on the dark empath or the light empath that you are around or in proximity to. A lot of times we're not understanding that those things are very subtle. Those patterns are very subtle. And if you're too busy and you stay in chaos a lot or your nerves aren't regulated, you'll be too high strung to catch a lot of these things. So nerve regulation and being able to regulate your environment is going to be very important as far as being aware of the details and having the time to comprehend the fine print that is surrounded by our lives. Okay. Cancer, what's going on? Happy birthday to you. A lot of Cancer birthdays. We are wrapping it up very, very soon. Actually, in the next couple of days, we will be rolling out of Cancer and right into Leo. Do yourself a favor, get over to the almanac and find what body parts are happening in the next few days. What I do, I got 6, 6, and 12. Okay, so that's six four times. 4 times 6, 64. That used to be the original numbers of Crayola crayons. Remember when you got the best pack, Crayola crayons? It was a 64 pack. I don't know why I got 6 squares. Square 6, 6 squared. Somebody knows this is an important number to someone because I'm saying it. It's 4 sixes. I know we do 666 ether, 666 carbon, 666 ether, 666 forget the last one, but that's supposed to be the makeup of black, right? But this is 6612, 6666, right? And it's happened to come out as in the trine and the hangman. So we have 6 of pentacles, right? The 6 of pentacles, giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, charity, and sharing, right? Then we have the 6 of swords, transition, change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, moving on. The hanged man, pause, surrender, letting go. So someone is either letting go of being, hold up. So somebody may be letting go, giving generosity. Somebody might feel like they might have been too generous in the past. They might have been too sharing and too caring. So somebody is starting to learn how to tighten up a bit. They're trying to learn how to run a tight ship. Now, some people's issue come from trying to be the good guy in every situation and still end up being the bad guy. This looks like a lot of like a person that gives, expecting loyalty, expecting respect, expecting all these things in return and not getting it, and then turning into a sour person, then turning into a needy person, turning into a angry person, turning into a spiteful person, all because they felt like because they gave without expectation. They gave without telling a person, hey, I'm going to give you this and I expect this back. They gave with entitlement. They gave thinking that giving automatically put them in line to receive. And when they didn't receive, they turned bad, okay? So somebody is learning not to overextend themselves with hopes of getting something automatically back. They're learning that you're either you explain, you communicate, or you don't overshare and stop getting upset when you put all this stuff out there and you don't get it back. This looks like somebody going on a first date and spending $1,000 and then starting to get upset because they didn't get the cat at the end, and they get upset because they felt as though if they spent a lot of money on the first date, they were going to be owed something at the end. Somebody is learning not to do that. Stop putting your hand before your heart, because people aren't going to look for your heart as long as they can look for your hand. So somebody is learning a hard lesson about being the good guy or wanting to be perceived as though. It's not a good deed if you're going to be upset when it doesn't get returned or reciprocated. Also understand this. You don't have to be a rollover. You don't have to be a pushover for people in order for people to validate you. The real people that like you don't need you to go broke for them. The real people that like you will find a way to you. The real people that like you, they will call you back. So remember not to overextend yourself for a person who isn't even extending for you, okay? It's very easy for a person to get upset because they feel like they're being used. But it's another thing for a person to get upset, not because they're getting used, it's because they're overdoing it for people who wouldn't do anything for them. Remember, you don't have to do it. There are some people who will sit literally in your face and say, but I didn't ask you to do that. And you've done a lot. So remember your part and your accountability. Yes, you might have had great intentions, but everybody that takes from you doesn't take from you with intent on giving you anything, all right? So remember the duality in people going forward, all right? And this is in Cancer. So someone is definitely moving on to calmer waters. They're starting to realize that maybe they're not around reciprocal people. And it doesn't always have to center around money. It can be feelings, it can be respect, it can be privacy. Some people, they listen to all of your business because they don't have anything to talk about when they go around other people. So that can be something that they're oversharing, and you're not doing that. You're not going about telling people's business, but someone is telling all of yours. Be very careful of that. Somebody is starting to realize that they have been over fair, oversharing, very competent in a situation where other people weren't competent, sharing, or caring about them. And they found out the hard way, unfortunately. All of us get this lesson once or twice or however many times until we get the clue that we don't have to overextend. And if you have to buy friendship, if you have to bargain for friendship, if you have to barter for friendship, if you have to negotiate friendship, it's not a friendship, it's a business. Okay? And maybe you or whatever you have is the transaction, but it's your job to be aware what's going on and what's the currency. Okay? The hangman is pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things different than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. So remember to embrace change. Don't get upset. Change. That usually works. All right? Take care. And it's 6 plus 6 plus 12. That is 24, which turns into a 6, which is you will reap what you sow. Unfortunately, if you overextend yourself, you're going to overexhaust yourself. All right? There you go. That was the Cancer reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, Cancer, Taurus, Aquarius, and the trine. There is a 120-degree. I don't know if it's an air sign, an earth sign. Yeah, it might be an earth sign or air sign, but we have the trine out here, which is 120-degree, which means that all three elements in your sign are in your chart. Okay, there you go. Let's step on over to Leo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The Hierophant is at the bottom of the deck. This is institutions, traditions, religion, society and its rules, social approval, conformity, forgiveness, bonded mercy, wisdom, and trust. That makes me think. I was going through some records and I saw where, and I remember maybe a month ago, I said something about a judge named Pamela Brown. Come to find out, it's one in Howard County that did some really shady shit to me in my records. Pamela Brown, Pamela J. Brown to be the honorable Pamela J. Brown to be exact. I don't understand what happened, but whatever deal she got cooked up, we're gonna find out what that's about. Pamela Brown, that's public record. I don't know what happened. I don't know why she has a hard on for me. Whoever's a word she's taking over mine, everybody's lying, including her. It's a lot of damn perjury going on. Okay, so we've got 20 for judgment. We've got 15, the devil. And we've got 5 of swords, and that is in the Leo. Maybe this is a Leo energy or someone has Leo in their chart. Maybe Pamela's a damn Leo. We don't know. Or maybe she's a Cancer because we did just come out of the Cancer. Either way, I don't appreciate you letting somebody lie on me so much, not asking for my daggone proof in it, and then keep doing it and keep doing it. Because you make me feel like you're part of this, the hateful crew that's still going on today, which I'm starting to believe you are part of the problem. Anyway, so 20 is judgment, judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. God has mercy. I don't. I haven't gotten that far in my journey. Okay? So judgment, rebirth, and a calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, mercy. I remember Shawshank Redemption. Hey, that might be in somebody's near future. We've got the 20 here. All right, then we've got the devil, which is self, shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, materialism, codependency, toxicity. Somebody's jump off is definitely either a cross dresser or they have a few secrets in the bedroom that they would not like on the front page of news. Either way, this is what this is all about. There are a bunch of nasty, freaky frogs that got together and they decided that they were going to make regular citizens be the money bag that funds their frivolous tryst, okay? And they're using all of the systems, including the law systems, to enact it, all right? This is trying to illegally rob somebody using the judicial system, okay? Then we've got 5, which is conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, winning at all costs, sneakiness, bullies, theft, abusive relationships. This is all in alignment together. The 20 with the 15 is 35 plus 5, which brings that to a 40, which makes that a 4, which is there will be foundations shaken, there will be laws changed, there will be a changing of the guards. When you got leadership that is willing to bend the rules in order for their benefit, that is not called leadership. That is called a hole in the ship, and the ship will sink. Okay? All right. Hey, shorty. Appreciate it. All right, there you go. 4, that's the foundation. Remember what I said and remember what's supposed to be. The 20 plus the 15, 35 plus 5, that's 40. That is Leo and Capricorn and Aquarius. To take what resonates, sun, moon, rising. There is a few Cancer elements up in here. I do see Mercury, but it still looks like a little vampire sometimes when I see it. All right, so somebody's definitely siphoning energy and they're using their authority to ruin others. Something that we keep saying don't do. Well, thing about it is, turn it down. Thank you. The thing about that is, the roles will turn and the wheel of fortune does move. So while someone is sitting at the top, they'll definitely be sitting at the bottom. Remember, you can't be using your authority to ruin others. Does not matter how much access and how much barriers you can cross, just because you can does not mean that you should. All right, so that was the Leo reading. Take what resonates. It was, the number was 4, the end number was 4, and it is about that shaky foundation. Somebody is about to find themselves uprooted. All right, all right, all right. Okay, whoa, okay, Virgo comes out here in the sun. Virgo shot out like the sun. Turn it down, please. Virgo shot out like the sun, and then we have the 6 of Swords coming back out, and then we have the Ace of Swords coming back out. That is 19 plus 1, which is 20, and then 6, and that makes that 26, which brings that to an 8. You should be on the great side of karma. If you're not, if you should be on the great side of dharma. If you're not, you are on the bad side. It's karma. Okay, then we got the 7 of Cups, opportunity, wishing, wishful thinking, choices, illusions, searching for purpose, daydreaming. So somebody has champagne dreams. Hopefully they do not have Kool-Aid pockets. Let's see. The Sun, positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy, warmth, celebration, success, rebirth. All is well. Transitioning, change, leaving behind, releasing baggage, moving on. 1, the Ace of Swords, mental clarity, breakthrough, new ideas, success, sharp mind, conflict, surgery. So somebody is definitely doing the shadow work. They're moving on to calmer waters. And as they become more mentally clear, they're understanding what has to go and what can stay. And they are doing so to make sure that those actions are taken immediately. A lot of people don't have time to keep playing, okay? They don't want to keep going through endless cycles. Nobody wants to be a hamster, not unless you're really a hamster. All right, there you go. And that was for, I'm sorry, and that was for Virgo. All right, Sun is masculine, so there is a masculine Virgo in the Virgo energy that might have Aquarius in their chart, and all they're trying to do is to settle themselves, gather their nerves, regulate their systems, and keep it pushing and remembering what they went through so they don't have to go through it again. Okay? All right now. So that was that for the Virgo. We're going to go over to the Libra. All right? Okay. Thank you. Please be aware, some of the people in my chat are people that know me in real life, and they come here because they have been paid to try to destroy everything that I get. Even though they don't help me pay a damn thing, they don't want me to get money. Because if I'm not giving to them and allowing them to, or enabling them to be bums, they don't want me to be anything great. And that's okay. Karma will get you returned to sender. It's a darn shame that there are people that actually know me in the 3D who have to hide their face and show a bunch of insults because they know that that don't go like that. All right, all right, all right. So we have the Two of Pentacles for the Libra. We have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Swords. Okay, we have 2 and 2. This is 2 days in a row that the 2 came out like that. At the bottom of the deck here, we have burden, extra responsibility, hard work, and completion in Sagittarius. Okay, so if you have Sagittarius in your chart, stop making your work harder than it has to be. Sometimes by you trying to make it easier, you'll also make it harder. You're going around John Henry's barn when life was a straight shot, okay? Some people can't wait. They don't have patience. They have to have it now. And you pay a bigger price when you have to have it now, okay? So we have the Two of Pentacles, multiple priorities, time management, adaptability, balancing decisions. Then we have the Page of Pentacles, manifestation, financial opportunity, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence. Then we have the Two, that is difficult, the Two of Swords in Libra. And this is the Libra reading. Difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock. So somebody is hiding from the decisions that they made. They try to juggle a lot of things all at once. They try to adapt. They try to manipulate time management, and they try to balance other people's decisions where they didn't balance their own. Upon manifestation, they didn't develop a lot more skills. The only thing that they did develop was more lies, okay? Pathological liar. Then we have this Two of Swords, which puts them in difficult decisions, weighing options, and avoidance and deadlock. Someone is locked into the mental prison that they have created for themselves while trying to create a mental prison for maybe you or I. And they've definitely trapped themselves in the ethers. Got you stuck in the ethers. Yeah. Nas. Illmatic. That type of thing. So, the trap that someone set for you, they surely fallen in. Remember to ask God to be your shield and your buckler against all evil narcissists and sociopaths that roam this earth freely, and they have the nerve to have some type of funding. Darn. Okay, the number is 2 plus 2, which is 4, which means somebody has a real jacked up foundation and they're stuck. They are trapped in whatever bed they made. Go on and lie in it. Roll over till you find a soft spot. Who cares? All right. That was for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Capricorn, and Libra. Ground yourself because the communication is going to be wild during this Mercury and Jupiter retrograde. Remember, we're going through a dual retrograde, so electronics will be acting up. There will be miscommunication. Remember to slow down and listen and comprehend before you respond, or else you're not going to be able to reply, all right? Responding is more like a reaction. Replying is being able to understand before you supply an answer. Okay? There you go. Let's get on over to Scorpio. Hello, 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 Scorpio. We started off in Aries. We will end in Pisces. Hello, Scorpio. Good morning. At the bottom of the deck, we've got challenge, competition, protection, perseverance, defense, maintaining control. Someone is struggling to keep up barriers and at least keep up the good happy face while they do a little damage control in the back. So somebody's trying to make it look good in the front while there's a lot of confusion and chaos going on behind the curtains, okay? All right, let's go. Then we've got the Two of Swords. Oh no, what? I thought we just let me do a better shuffle. I hate when the cards come right back out. If it comes back out after the shuffle, it was meant to be, all right? Let me shuffle real good, even though it still has a chance of coming out. It's all in the communication. All right, Scorpio, let's see what happened. And it still came out. Okay. All right, so the Two of Swords in Libra. This is a Scorpio, so it must be, god dang, the same cards? The same exact cards came out backwards, so there must be a Leo Scorpio or a Libra Scorpio cusp. It has to be because I shuffled and the bottom of the deck is saying a wish fulfillment. So I guess the wish fulfillment is for somebody. All right, so Scorpio, it came out 2-2 in Libra, right? It came out Two of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords. Well, this time it came out Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. So I'm going to read it because I did shuffle. Hold up. Is that like the dehydration line? Somebody is looking at my lips too damn hard. What the hell is that? Out of that, or is this? Because this is clear. So somebody's definitely doing a little something behind the screen. Because this is what I had on in the beginning. So somebody's doing something really weird and funky behind the screen. That's between you and God or Satan, whoever you worship. All right, so difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock, and then manifestation, and then multiple priority. So somebody is trying to work themselves out of the deadlock by trying to juggle more. So somebody's adding more flame to the fire as we speak. This has to be a Libra Scorpio cusp because I got the same reading backwards right after the Libra. So this is a cusper. This is a Scorpio Libra cusp. However you want to take it. Sun, moon, rising. And it's still the foundation with the Scorpio. The same as the Libra. Somebody has to give up their old ways. Or at least learn to stop. Because they're only building up the case more on themselves. Okay? It's snowballing. You're looking toward an avalanche of issues. You can't keep... Okay. If the problem is already about to burst through, you adding more issues on top isn't going to fix things, okay? It's only going to muddy the waters and make the process a lot longer. But some people are gluttons for punishment and self-instilled masochists. If you don't know the word, look it up, all right? So this was the Scorpio reading, almost the same exact as the Libra reading, only backwards. And Libra, Capricorn. Somebody's not finding this funny, and somebody has a very difficult decision coming up. And we all know Libra's weak suit is making decisions. They usually allow things to happen by default, okay? So if you are this Libra, or are you this Scorpio, or are you this cusper, please stop allowing life to happen and start trying to live your life more responsible and more intentionally. As you get older, a lot of people are not going to be forgiving. I didn't know, I didn't understand, nobody told me, that sort of situation. In a world where you can find out anything, in a world where half of you are experts at playing video games, nobody should be dumb at this adult life, okay? Let's keep going. Sagittarius, what it is, pull up on me. Remember that number was 4 for Libra and Scorpio. Their reading was almost this one and the same. It was backwards, and then it was forwards, and then it was forwards, and then it was backwards, okay? All right. Sagittarius, we have the 9 of Pentacles, we have the 6 of Cups, and we have the 10 of Cups. All right, 9, 6, 10. Sir. He be having so much fun. He be stemmed out, overstimulated, wakes up with so much energy. All right, so we've got the 9, fruits of labor, rewards, luxury, self-sufficiency, financial independence. So somebody is working towards their financial independence. They're enjoying their fruits of labor, however small or big it is. They are enjoying them to themselves. The thing about society, a lot of times you can get wherever you want to go. You just can't tell anybody because nobody wants they don't want you to give a lot of people hope. So a lot of times society would be fine with you getting up there. Just don't don't give everybody else ideas, okay? All right, so someone's getting to the bag, they're getting to their comfort, they're getting to a realm of peace. They're starting to regulate and get with the flow of things. Somebody is finding their feng shui in life. Okay, now we have the 6 of Cups, familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, innocence, joy, nostalgia. They're looking back as they're going forward, and they're taking what's good and they're applying it to their positive forward movement. Even if they have bad things, they're learning to internalize whatever was bad, and they're understanding that whatever was bad was teaching them to live better in the long run. Some of us can watch a lot of people make mistakes. We'll take notes and we'll remember not to do that thing when we get to that part, right? And for some of us, the people who've actually taught us not to be them, they get upset when you actually navigated around the same mistake that they would have happily taken part in. And some people will get a bit upset and be a little bit hold a grudge against you because of survivors. They want you to have survivor's guilt. They want you to be guilty for surviving and bypassing things that they would have been knee deep in and would have never survived. Don't feel sorry. You don't have to feel sorry for people who won't feel sorry for you. And you don't have to take up their cross. You don't have to bear other people's cross just because you were able to do it better or you were able to avoid it altogether. Some people like to beat you down. Oh, you ain't never been through this? Why should I have to? If I was able to take enough notes to avoid the situation, you should be proud of me, not a hater. But we have more people that will hate the fact that you got through it rather than applaud you. So remember, don't let anybody make you feel bad for surviving. Don't make anyone make you feel guilty for surviving. Okay? So then the 10, which is wish fulfillment, divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, contentment, total love and support. Remember to totally love and support yourself, and remember to align yourself with the good opportunities that you want. That looks like eating good. That looks like remembering to your spiritual hygiene, remembering the thoughts, the intrusive thoughts. Don't have, if you having bad thoughts in your, on the inside in your head, ask yourself, why am I interacting like this? Why does this make me angry? Why does this give me a negative interaction rather than a positive interaction? And then try to find a solution, because if you are in alignment from the inside out, no one can deny you forward movement. Okay? So remember, it's all in the details as far as your alignment. Are you making sure you're not talking bad about people? Are you backbiting? Are you stealing? Are you cheating? Are you lying? Are you hiding things that shouldn't be hidden? Are you being fake or phony? Are you saying yes when you're really saying no? Are you really saying no when you really mean yes? Are you being authentic within yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for everybody else? Are you allowing people to put the burdens of proof on you as opposed to never having accountability themselves? These are things that you have to answer in order to make sure that you are in alignment for the blessings that are coming for you. Okay, so that's 9 plus 6, which turns into a 15, plus 10, which turns into a 25, which turns into a 7. A very complete cycle and wish fulfillment at the end. Sir, this is Sagittarius, Virgo, Scorpio, Pisces. Take what resonates, Sun, Moon, Rising. There you go. Don't force anything. Don't hurt yourself. All right, so we're going to get over to Capricorn. I be having to find out what language he's listening to. He changed the language on that stuff so much. All right, so the 15 came out in Capricorn, just like Capricorn. Oh, gosh. Okay, so we got Capricorn and Judgment came back out, and then we got the 7. Okay, so we've got 15, 20, and 7. Okay, 15, as we know, that's the Baphomet on there. Shadow self, attachment, addiction, restriction, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destruction, behavior, materialism, codependency, toxicity. That is the Capricorn and this Capricorn energy. This card they call the devil, all right? It's the earth in Capricorn. All right, so then we've got the 20, which is judgment, judgment, rebirth, inner calling, a new phase, absolution, reckoning, awakening, redemption, forgiveness, and mercy. So somebody is definitely under judgment for working in their shadow self. Maybe they're addicted. They have some bad addictions. Maybe they've restricted themselves, gave themselves a lack mindset. Maybe they're confused with their sexuality, or they're keeping it a secret that they really don't plan on picking anything. They plan on picking from each and every lane. Also, destructive behavior that can be lined up with the lack of discipline as far as sexual behavior and spiritual hygiene. And codependency is a bad thing. Not being self-sufficient and always having to wait on the next person's energy, resources, and ideas is not a good look on a whole entire grown person. Sometimes you really need to be able to figure out some stuff on your own without having to call the next adult, okay? All right. So we've got that going on with the judgment, and then we've got the seven. So judgment is moving very fast in someone's life. So they're going to have to hold on before they get whiplash, because life will do that to you. Someone's judgment day is coming sooner than later if you're not already going through it. And maybe sometimes some people, they are so good at ignoring things, they're so good they don't realize that it is judgment. Losing a couple dollars, hurting a limb, going through a major expense as far as your vehicle or your home or something is concerned, unexpected bills that throw you off. Those are parts of warnings of the judgment before it actually happens. So somebody's been ignoring the warnings, okay? It's on the way, all right? So 15 plus 20, that's 35 plus 7. That will bring you to a 42. So somebody's about to reap everything that they're about to sow. And they might be 42, somewhere in their 40s, okay? Might be 42, 43, 44, somewhere in their 40s, but they're about to learn the lesson of a lifetime. What you sow is definitely what you will reap. Especially if you sowed it for somebody else. God will catch you in the net that you have hid, in the deception that you have set up for someone else. In that pit you shall fall. All right, all right, all right. 42. Turning out to 6, which is an equal give and take to the universe. Be careful what you sow. Hey, turn it down, please. And where are you bringing that cup? Turn it down. I swear I be taking that cup from him, and he go right back and get it. I think he liked the way it sound when he hit it. It's like he's listening for a certain sound. Okie dokie, that was Capricorn. Let's go, let's go, go. Aquarius, Pisces is our last one, so we're rounding it up. And I told you this reading would be short, short, short. Okay, all right. Let me get a good shuffle in for our Aquarius. Hello, 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 Aquarius. How are you? Don't answer that. I don't care. I just hope you're doing well enough to keep doing well. And I say that with the nicest of hearts. I'm just letting you know that everything's all everything, and everything is in continuation and on ebb and flow. Remember to do the feng shui around you, your heart, and your environment, so you don't have to trip over your bullshit or somebody else's, okay? All right, so we got a 77 out here. Boom. Am I what for these numbers? I've been hitting doubles all day. Twos and twos. And now I got a 7 and 7. And then I did a 6 and a 6. Dang, I'm good. All right. So we've got the 7, which is Taurus. We've got the King of Wands, which is Scorpio and Sagittarius. And then we've got this other 7, which is Aquarius. And I told you this is an Aquarius reading. Okay, so the Valiant. There you go. There you go. The Valiant. Okay, so long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, sustainable results, investment. So somebody had a long-term view. They had a long game set up, right? King of Wands, natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, big picture leader, overcoming challenges, mature, career focus. All right, so this was the point man here. So the point man in this 7, because 7's always heartless and very sneaky and very cutthroat. 7's a cutthroat number. You see the sharp edges on the 7, right? Okay. All right, so I think if you actually held a 7, an actual number 7, and it was carved out of some strong material, somebody would hurt you with a number 7. A 7 can be very dangerous, and it also has the shape of the boomerang. So this might be a backfire, because the 7 does have the shape of the boomerang if you look at it in the right angle. So someone was the leader or the point man on this long game, on this range, right? So the sneaky bastard, here it is right there. Betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery. There's a backfire in the midst, okay? All right. So This person had the long-term game. They said, okay, we're going to set this up. We're going to gaslight. We're going to love bomb. We're going to cast spells. We're going to do lies. We're going to say that this person is everything about it but a child of God, but it's not really about that. That's just the distraction, talking about their reputation. While they're too busy fighting for their reputation, we're going to rob them. We're going to rob their banks. We're going to rob their home. We're going to see if we can get somebody to break in. We're going to try to rob them of their innocence and their peace. We're going to just keep on throwing things at them, and in hopes that they just worry about their reputation and don't realize that we're actually trying to steal money, a home, a car, a future, a life. We're trying to do all of that, and we're going to do that in our 7 energy, right? So somebody's about to experience the backfire of a damn lifetime. Hope you look good for your little boyfriends behind the prison, okay? All right, behind them bars. And don't drop the soap. By all means, your little boyfriends are going to need you to be a little bit more fresher, lest you get beat up for being sour about it, okay? All right, so 7 and 7 is 14, temperance. Remember, somebody had to hold it down while you were trying to fuck shit up. So have that same energy. All right, that was for you, Aquarius. And the sun moon rising for this is Taurus, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I tell you, that was 7 and 7. That's 14, and that is temperance. But it also is 5. There will be unexpected changes. I made my family disappear. That was on Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin. What a gem. All right, so let's keep going. The last but not least, we've got Pisces pulling up. Return to sender, return to sender. Give dark world something to do. Return to sender, return to sender. The collective is tired of you. Okay, let's go, Pisces. We've got that 2 of Swords, and then that 5 of Pentacles, and then that 4 of Pentacles. What's going on here? Somebody's thing is about to dry up. Hold on, to go, and you don't know what you've got till it's gone. All right, so we've got an issue going on here, Pisces. You've got difficult decisions, weighing options, avoiding deadlock. So somebody's deadlocked in the decision. There is not a lot of room. You're either going to come out on the good side or the bad side. There is no way to wiggle in between. I can't believe it. I just was looking at 2 in front of me. I'm telling you, I've been getting doubles and triples, but no, doubles mainly. So then as soon as I looked at it and it said 2, it turned into 23. Somebody's messing with me. All right, so we've got difficult decisions, weighing options, avoidance, deadlock, and that is the 2. That's funny, right? Okay, then we've got the 5 coming up here. Financial loss, lack mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity. Here's the thing. Somebody held on so tight. They held on so tight thinking that they would lose nothing, that they ended up losing everything. And that is the same theory as the sand in the fist. If you put some sand in your palm and you hold on to it like this, allowing air, allowing some to escape, at least sometimes a little bit, the chances of you losing all the sand goes out of the window because you have a controlled palm. But when you try to grab it and hold it like this, you leave all of these airs, and the sand is good to disappear out of your palm, and you won't have anything but a few granules left. So someone has attempted to hold on too tight. It's probably too tight to something that probably wasn't theirs in the beginning. They might have had a chance or a stab at it, or might have gotten a portion of it had they been able to let it go. But because they have control issues, partially morally, no, mostly control issues with trying to control everybody else, they were not able to control themselves, their thirst, their greed, and their sloth. 7 deadly sins surrounded them very quick. They weren't able to see it because they were waving a Christian flag, which probably distracted them from the fact that they're blowing smoke up everybody else's ass while telling them that it's raining. They just mixed all the signals up. You don't know what's going on with this person because they're trying to control everything going on. So someone's has to weigh their options. They've held on too tight, okay? This is what happened. They had a poverty mindset. They had a lack mindset. They weren't allowing people to grow. They weren't trying to grow. They weren't trying to meet people in between. Why else would you try to hold on to something that wasn't yours? Not unless you were trying to control someone or make someone beg or just breadcrumb somebody or just trying to make sure this person didn't get what was due to them because you felt as though you should have the control, the power, or the decision making, right? Okay. So this is what, pay attention. This is what got you put out in the cold. You don't want for others, so you shouldn't have anything either, right? What's good for the goose should be goose for the good for the gander, right? If you want people to run around with nothing because you don't feel like they should have it, what's to stop somebody else from coming up and feeling like you shouldn't have it and taking it from you? Be prepared for if the wheel does go around, it's coming back around again. What goes up must come down. What goes in must go out. Remember, that is the rules of the laws. Nobody's making it up. You're making shit up, and that's what got you in trouble. All right, so now you have to save whatever little pinnacles you got. You got to try to control because this is what you try to control overall. So now you're definitely going to have to try to maintain control as shit goes down. All right, okay. Saving money, security, conservation, scarcity, control, frugality. All right. How are you going to be frugal with somebody else's shit and trying to overcompensate for your stuff? That's crazy how a person, I used to hate this. I had some people who I knew, they would go spend all of their food stamps at the market. And that's not the bad thing. The bad thing was they would feed all the adults in the house steak, potatoes. I mean, the really good stuff. And they would feed all of the kids hot dogs and oodles and noodles while they ate steak, shrimp, and lobster. This is what I'm saying. Do you not know that you would not have been able to get those food stamps had it not been for the kids that you had? They were the reason why you were able to eat good like that. How dare you give them something lowly while you got the best of something that would not have been able or a possibility had you not had the kids? You know, I have a kid. He likes crab. He likes lobster. He likes all the good things I like. How dare I feed him a lowly portion as I give myself the best? Let's not do that. So someone's definitely having to answer for that sort of situation and that type of behavior. Holding on, being a gatekeeper while picking and choosing who comes over the gate. And definitely being a wolf in sheep's clothing. So the numbers are as stand. 5 plus 4 plus 2, intuitively 11. Somebody intuitively knew. They intuitively had the call. They got the call. They got the warning signs. They ignored them because they told themselves God will not see it. God hideth his face. I don't believe I will get punished. Well, that's how God do. He'll wait until you get good and comfortable, and then he'll, ba-dow, get you. Didn't know I was headed to a nightmare as you rocked me to sleep. I used to swim through shallow waters cause my heart aches so deep. With your touch, it felt warm, but it never felt secure. And it's so good cause I'm not done yet, It's levels to this mess. Yeah. All right. So this has been Billionaires with Nyx. It's happy Friday to you. And enjoy your weekend. I shall see you on Domingo. Have a great, great Friday and a Saturday. You've been with Nyx. Remember, don't come for me, lest I send for you. Like, share, and subscribe.